if you don't know what I'm talking about, Drake filed a lawsuit or has launched a petition to file a lawsuit against UMG, and um I feel like I get it. There's two sides of this coin, right? There's the side of it
Right.
where you go, it's this is gonna shake up the music industry, and maybe in a way where it exposes a lot of things that the major labels do. And that's interesting and that's cool. So there's that aspect of it, and maybe two things could be true. That could be happening as well. But culturally, he's lost the people. Culturally, he's lost it. I just don't see. He looks bad. It looks like he's down bad, and he, instead of like climbing back up to greatness, he's just taking like the Karen route, And
Right.
it, I don't know, man. I don't. I could see it from both perspectives, but it's like to attack the same system that you benefited from your entire career because you lost a battle. And I hate when people go, he's not, it's not against Kendrick, it's not against any of that. And it's like, it don't, it's indirectly, that's what it is. It's an indirect attack on Kendrick, or not attack, it's an indirect um way to attack him, or approach him, or the result or the response to it. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
if he didn't lose that battle, would he be doing this? If he had a joint
Exactly.
that had the cultural impact that Not Like Us did, and they pushed it the same way, would he be reacting like this? Tootsie Slide, I'm sure, got the same fucking promotion. Tootsie Slide sucked. That was a terrible record. But it still was number one. From who? I never played that record in my damn life. I've played Not Like Us about 1,000 times. Never
Hey,
played Tootsie Slide one.
you see, Euphoria is my second most played song this
It-
year. It
so
just came out.
and it just came. So the we're talking cultural impact versus manufacturing hits, right? Cultural hits versus manufactured hits. Tootsie Slide is a manufactured hit. It was not good. It got the same. I'm sure it got the same push on. It got the same power behind it, the same money behind it, the same type of support behind it. Uh, Not like, I don't even believe Not Like Us needed that. You know what I mean? But because it was so impactful.
Absolutely.
Every major label has relationships with radio. Every major label has relationships with other corporations. That's the game. When you have a joint that goes and is going to create you more money or more cultural relevance, you're going to put money behind it and resources behind it. Bottom line, Drake got to stop bitching, man. Rapping won't even help you no more, man. It don't, none of, now it's becoming like, oh, he's that guy. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. I mean, it hurts. It hurts, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because growing up, high school, college, Drake, Kanye was up here. Kanye's still up here for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
Drake,
He's one of the goats for
I've
sure.
heard every song from high school to college to now. Well, his last few albums I ain't really hear like that. But I know every Drake song, every moment, every video, all that. The only thing I haven't done was been to a concert and
Yeah,
things like that. So like just looking at the situation and looking at what's going on and how it can affect the industry. And I think early on people was thinking like, okay, y'all don't y'all don't really understand. Y'all LLC niggas, y'all should be bigging up Drake. Y'all should be he fighting the system. I'm like, is he? Is he? Or is he just whining and is he just like, okay, we see what they doing with Not Like Us. We seen the word that was used. We seen this to jeopardize his likeness, his image, and things like that. So, like from Drake's standpoint and from his camp, they may think they're doing the right thing,
yeah,
and from our standpoint, people like me and you, we can say, okay, he's crying and moaning, but then this something like this would change the system. Somebody like Drake, and what makes him different from people that go against the system, they're doing it. The people that's going against the system, like a Prince, like a Michael Jackson, they're doing it to change not only themselves but those that come after them. So it's bigger than just Prince. It's bigger than just Michael Jackson. It's bigger than just a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King.
And they do it
Like
with integrity. That's
absolutely, that
that's the key. That's the key point here is integrity. I feel the route. I feel the route Aubrey has taken has no integrity, and because it I mean, it's your label. You can't brag about being the guy at the label all these years because I remember that period of Drake being like, wait, where he's that, he bragged about being that guy. Like I could get any,
right.
what was it? He had that line where he's like, I could get anything from Elliot Green or whatever it was, where he made a reference like that,
And that's
like
what it
anything
was.
was okay, yeah,
That's what
and
it was. He was Alien. He was Lucien Grange's golden boy.
exactly
So
the golden pony,
they pumped the billions into it, and they did this. And I was listening to Ian Dunlap from EYL, and he
yeah,
was talking about like once we start talking about UMG, people have to understand. Like I understand the people talking about it on the surface level on social media and crying and talking about this about Drake and he doing this. But once you talking about UMG, you're talking about Chinese investors. You
yeah,
talking about people from British. You talking about these type of investors that have spent millions on Drake and spent millions on Scorpion. When Scorpion came out, it was on every. I think it was on a gospel playlist
yeah,
like cover and things like that. So it was like on all these playlists, it was all over these billboards and things like that. So Drake has been spoiled, which he
yeah,
has his entire life. So
yeah.
like
He's
Lucian
been
has
manufactured. They done sculpted his abs. They done all types of crazy. He's a
right. So
Ken doll.
Lucian has pumped billions into him, and then you have this Marcus Garvey individual, this Malcolm X individual.
Mhm.
You have this individual that has culture.
Yep.
Like you heard what Jay-Z said. You reposted the video. Like we are culture.
We are culture.
Nothing
Yep.
moves without us.
Uh-huh.
Kendrick had that. Kendrick had the euphoria. Kendrick had the not like us and things like that. And same with I can have this Nicki Minaj type of situation. She was so on top. She was at the top of the totem pole. But then you
Hmm.
have a Cardi B come in. Then you have another option. People are
Yeah.
going to gravitate to that the other option.
Especially
And
when
of
you start
course,
losing touch, because success, the higher you climb on the ladder of
right,
success, I feel like you separate from the ground floor, right? You separate from the people. So
right.
it's superstardom, right? Because you could be successful and all that and still have a grounding. We see it with J. Cole in a bit, even though J. Cole has said himself he has been out of touch with
Right,
it. So and Kendrick comes out whenever he comes out and then goes back in, right? But their level of superstardom, Drake, let's be real, Drake's level of superstardom is probably will never happen again with another artist, right? And that level of superstardom makes you kind of oblivious to what actually happens on the ground floor. And the higher
absolutely,
you climb up, the further you get from that relevancy and that connectivity to the people. And people love success and they love to see you win, but they love even more to see you burn.
absolutely.
They rather watch a train wreck than to go in the fire and help you out. They love it. You might be going 150 miles an hour and people are like, damn, that's fast, but they hoping you crash. So that could be like, you see,
Yeah,
they could look and point because that's just part of I don't want to say it's the world, but America loves entertainment. We love to be entertained.
right,
So we love tragedy, we love success, we love comedy. So when it, Drake is in that, Drake is in that. But also, did he ever have culture? Was he ever
not
actually
at all,
culturally connected?
not at all. Because you had guys in the barbershop, you had guys talk about this singing guy, this rapping guy. Like, okay, is he a singer? Is he a rapper? Is he a pop artist? What this and that? And like I was saying about Kendrick, like you have this cultured guy that is from LA. You have this guy that when he produces and when he does not like us, UMG didn't have to push the button for that.
Yeah.
Not Like Us was a cultural moment in history
Yeah.
that will live forever. So
Yeah.
like that was something that Drake couldn't he
He
couldn't
couldn't.
stop. He couldn't
Yeah.
stop. He couldn't
There was
stop.
no
And that's
stopping
why
him.
that was the last record of the entire beef. And it basically stamped like, okay, this is where we are in this moment.
Yeah.
I'm here. So UMG being UMG, $1 billion corporation, of course we're gonna put money behind our main product. The
Yep.
same we have done for you, Drake, for the
Yeah.
past 10 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, he just it's just a jealous
Yeah.
millionaire
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
that's don't yeah. So like
That's why it's kind of lame. Um, and the thing also, Not Like Us didn't have to be the last record. Drake tapped out. The Heart Part 6 was disgusting. That was a disgusting record. I didn't like that. I saw people say that was a good
what
record.
record?
I didn't.
It
The Heart
froze
Part
up.
6. The Heart Part 6, that record he put out after Not Like
Are you
Us.
talking about what Drake did?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
not
can't
not
even
not the
remember
real
that
one.
record.
That I mean, it was bad. It was just not a good record. That was with him saying basically like backtracking everything. And again,
Right.
that felt like a label move. That felt like somebody told you, "Yo, you got to go like say something about these allegations and say something about all of this." And what I was going to say about UMG, when you bring up a good point about the Chinese investors, it's not only just Chinese investors. UMG has their hands in so many different things. They like mass produce water in a country somewhere. Like
Right. That's what I'm saying.
UMG,
Like it's
UMG
investors
is
all over
huge.
from France and all
Yeah,
over. So it's
and
more than just that.
it's more than just entertainment. Not only that,
Right.
to add to that, it's with UMG. It's you got to also realize there are some people in the UMG boardrooms and stockholders and major stockholders. I'm not talking about the people who own little pieces. I'm talking about the major stockholders. Those investors, all that. Those. There's a certain people in that company who don't give a fuck about Drake. Their concern isn't
At
even
all.
Drake is just one piece of this giant machine that works. So it's like if he's costing you money and making you look bad, yo, fuck that guy. He's not even to them is he's not even that relevant. He's just one. I'm not saying he's not relevant, but Drake is only relevant entertainment wise. You know what
Right.
I mean? Drake is not like a humanitarian. We don't go, you don't when you think of like these bigger businesses that kind of add to the capitalism of the world and add to the structure of society. Drake is not one of those guys. And in comparison to like a Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, who have these
Right.
stakes in the ground that affect the world, kind of, you know what I mean, and how the overall culture shifts. I don't even know if Kendrick has that for hip hop, but Kendrick is a moving cog in that machine of how culture shifts.
Right.
If nothing else, he is a representative of the culture, you know.
Right.
And I don't think we get that with Drake, and I feel like we're seeing a product malfunction.
So
Um,
are we seeing the downfall of Drake?
I think we're seeing the cultural exposure of Drake. I don't. I
Right.
think a act like Drake can't fall. You're
Right.
just too successful, and you
Right.
have too much in the bank, and not financially. I mean, you got too much work you've done, too much stakes in the ground. You know, like he is a legend, whether people like him or not. I don't agree with this. I don't discredit his entire career,
Right.
um, because I respect the career. The career is one that's never been. It's just there's no career like it, and I don't see there ever being another career like it. I think
Right.
he's a shooting star in this industry. The same way I
Even with
see
his next album, I think he's gonna do like roughly
I think he's
four
gonna
hundred
do good.
thousand. Right.
I
I
think I
think he's
saw.
gonna do.
I think I just saw statistics that he's still the most streamed artist every month this year. So it's like
Oh yeah.
I don't. That's why this is crazy because you're not really losing.
It's just
You
the
did.
public perception. He
It's just the
cares about the
public
public
perception.
perception. He cares
Exactly.
about that. He
He's
cares
not
about that.
really losing. He's still on top. He's still the guy. People still love Drake. It's not like yo, you got a little chink in the armor. That's fine. Like that's cool. It comes with the game. Like Hove did it.
Chink,
It
the
had
whole shoulder played off.
yeah. Well, but I feel like he did that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I feel like he did that. He could that pedophile shit that shit could have been here and gone. You know, uh, and I don't know. My whole perception of that battle was crazy because now when I look at it, I look at all the things of Kendrick telling you, "Yo, don't say lies about
Don't
me, and I
do it.
won't say truths about you.
Don't mention
Don't
my
yo,
family. Don't
don't
do it.
mention my
Don't do it.
family. Like we can keep it friendly." I see all that, and then I see Drake. Then you see, now you could really look at it and go, "Oh, he's just an egomaniac." It's just, oh, I think I'm the guy. I'm thinking. Then you get chin checked, and that's what happened. And you're gonna take a blow because the one thing you could, I mean, you might not like Kendrick because his music is kind of a certain type of music, but he he is one of us. He is the people. You know, whether you like it or not, he has always stood for. He has been an artistic figure, like as far as um a moving piece of art, right?
Right,
His cultural relevance and stance has always been impactful and been respected and been like, okay, this is the guy that we put on those pedestals. This is the guy who represents that. He's the guy who's keeping the actual art form of this alive, from the
right.
storytelling, from the conceptual albums, from the releases, from all of from the processes. He's always been that guy, and he's been surgical when he's been on the attack mode. You know what I mean? Like he's always every time he's kind of thrown a shot. He's been the guy letting you know I'm that dude. I'm
Yeah,
number one. He did it on the control verse. He did like he's always thrown those things out into the universe. It's other people who have said these guys are Drake is the goal. Is like, but Kendrick has always stood on that stance. So it's like that wasn't nothing else. It was just like you're gonna reach out. I think he just got offended. You gonna reach out to do this damn song? It's like fuck you. You know I don't like you. What was it? The BET cipher shit. I mean, he's like, I tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. It's like,
high
yo,
high. Joke's on you. High
jokes are,
five.
I'm
I'm
bulletproof.
bulletproof.
And
That's my shit.
a year later, that stands true.
That shit crazy, bro. Like I thought I hold grudges with certain people, but damn, that was like
Yeah,
2011, 12,
yeah. But I think Kendrick saw it back then. I think a
14,
lot of
maybe.
people saw it. I think if you're in the industry and as you build your career and you at those levels, you see the type of career routes that these artists take, where Drake took the manufactured route, and there's nothing
Right,
wrong with that.
right.
I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of acts. If you're a good act, I'm a fan because I love entertainment. I love music. I love it. So it's like I love a good show. I love a good production. I love a good act. Drake is one of the greatest acts of the music industry, of the entertainment industry. So I respect his decisions of how he chose to go about his career. I get it. He took the money, like when it came, he took the big checks. He took the easy records. He took the pop record. You know, he did everything to be the best manufactured product in the market, and I love that. Um, and then I think somebody like Kendrick sees that while he's choosing the grassroots route in his career. Um, and he looks at that and he goes, "Oh, but you know that's the same way they look at Vlad. It's like, oh, you just using our culture, and not only that, and you trans Dominican. So it's like you're not even you. You're not even like the Canadian Jewish guy. You trying to be like you trying to convert into something in front of us. He's like Kim Kardashian, you know. It's like you go from one person to the next person before our eyes, and we just supposed to eat that shit up. Now Kim, it, I mean, the Kardashians are a certain type of people. People just respect it, but we all know what the fuck goes on in the Kardashian. Don't none of you don't Daryl. You don't watch the Kardashians. You don't sit there. You go, this is entertainment. This because you know what you seen a man turn into a woman. Granted, fuck it, that's your freedom. Do whatever you want. I'm just saying when we all watching this shit and it's crazy. Now we gotta watch a Jewish black man turn into a Dominican, and we gotta be like it's okay. And on top of him exploiting black culture, on top of him exploiting hip hop culture, it's like we live in a crazy world. Motherfuckers just transforming in front of us. Now, and I'm joking about the Kardashian thing. Not joking. I'm being serious, but I'm saying those elements the extremes where you could see a man become a woman. No problem with that. Just to make that clear, I'm just saying we saw it on TV. When you
Cancel
could
before
become,
vote
yeah,
episode 10.
yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying when you watch a man become a woman on TV on public outlets, that's such an extreme that when you see their child go from like a normal human to a plastic human, it's regular. You don't like, you
Right.
don't think about it when Kim Kardashian is a walking Barbie doll. You don't think about it because it's like, oh, their family already. It's so much extremes are happening in society that it becomes such a normalcy. But and I'm not saying it's not normal. I'm saying the extremes of these things are crazy. They're so wild that back in the day it stood out, right? Today it doesn't
Right.
stand out because it's normal. You got Saucy Santana, you got all these crazy like these extreme characters. Drake, I would just say all that to say Drake is an extreme character. He is the Kim
Extreme character is
Kardashian.
crazy.
He's the Kim Kardashian. No, Saucy Santana is crazy. That's a wild character. So Drake is the Kim Kardashian of
So it's
and
Kendrick
I'm
Lamar Kanye?
Kendrick Lamar's Kanye.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's sad to see as far as what I remember Drake as far as so
Yeah,
far gone comeback season. That's the Drake that I remember.
he
Even
don't look the
Degrassi.
same.
Like
Yeah,
even Degrassi, I think Degrassi is the first time I've seen him, and then I see him transform into
into
comeback
a
season
Dominican man. Oh,
so far gone, and things like that. And we've seen him with the braids, the fro, the low cut.
the
Like
fucking
we've
sauce
seen him
man.
dressing
He
like this shit's crazy.
It's crazy. My fault to cut you off. I'm saying he stole Sauce Walker's whole style, man. People don't even say that because Sauce Walker is a little not. He's underground. I love Sauce Walker. Shout out to Texas. Sauce Walker is one of my favorite artists, honestly, out of Texas and hip hop. But he took his whole style with the braids and the beads and all that shit. And it's like, and because he lives in, he stays in chat. It's like, bro, you stealing a man's whole identity who he kind of cemented it. That was like his thing. um and it's just weird when I see that, and I say that to say that's the thing Kendrick was pointing out when he said you run to Atlanta to get game from you to lingo and all that. You ran to Texas and stole Sauce Walker's whole style. That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
um and to tag on what you saying is like when you see Degrassi, you don't see that Drake. You see a kid who's tr- earning his career. Where now you see a guy who's, oh, let me take what's you take what the people love, and the people don't love it from you. They just like it from you because you make it relevant and cool, and you put it in the eyes of everybody, as
Right.
opposed to it being just an original thing on your end, as far as being like a tastemaker and being somebody who curates these things. He curates he curates what's already popular
Right. Yeah.
amongst the culture, and he just puts it on that main stage. Um and it is what it is. We
Yeah.
seen it happen.
I mean,
And it is
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see the lawsuit. I know it's some dates. I think next week or something like that that's circling, and we'll see how that go. And the fight with Drake and UMG, like I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if he's looking to be compensated. I don't know if he's looking to change the industry. I don't know, but if secrets do come out and say anything, UMG is going to say, Drake, the same thing we did for Kendrick, we've been doing for you for
yeah,
10 years, even if you do not know it. No matter
yeah,
how big of an act you are, Joe Budden talked about this all the time. No matter how big of an act you are, as far as inside their system, you would never know the true analytics. You will never know the true day to day and what goes on in the
yeah.
Spotify office, in the UMG office, in the TikTok office and things like that. You would never know because you're not truly a part of that company. You're
A
product.
product.
Yes, you're a product within that company that you're literally a Coke bottle in the factory that gets manufactured with the rest of the Coke bottles. So
Yep.
and they have placed you in line in order for you to design what you need to do, which is quench the thirst of the customer. That is basically
That's
what you
that's
are
the
in this
best analogy I've heard for it.
exactly. That is basically what these acts are in
Mhm.
this environment. And Drake, Taylor Swift, and even some sort of Kendrick, like they are
Yeah,
all
100%.
just Coke bottles in this factory. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
And
Kendrick is part of that. Kendrick is he just has a different superpower. He just has a different.
right,
It's like how they make the toys, and the toys come with like accessories. You know, like a wrestler comes with a championship belt. If they're known for talking on a microphone, they have a microphone. Kendrick comes packaged the same way. He just has culture with
right.
him, and he has the people with him. And okay, what did you think of GNX?